Israel and the United States have been very dependent in the EU on the country of Hungary. And the reason for that is because Viktor Orban has been nothing short of a tyrant and has been at the forefront of this for the better part of almost 2 decades. And the other day, he got taken out of power. Now, what that means, time will tell. Can I have the article, please, Colin? This is coming directly from Yet News. This is not Times of Israel, but we'll get to that in a minute, because they're shitting bricks over there right now. At least you would think that they would be. So just prior to the election, in fact, this was a day before, if Orban falls, Israel could lose its EU firewall. Now, that would be a shame. Hungary has repeatedly used its EU veto to block sanctions on Israel. If opposition leader Peter Magyar, not Peter Hager, Peter Magyar, close, but no cigar, wins and aligns with Brussels to unlock billions in funding, Jerusalem could lose its last line of defense in the bloc. Again, that would be terrible. According to all polls, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban is expected to lose Sunday's election to his rival Peter Magyar, which he did, a development that would deal a significant blow to Israel. While Israel would lose one of its closest allies, it would not necessarily lose Hungary altogether. In Israel, officials are closely watching the race. Orban is fighting a defensive campaign, and a victory for him would defy expectations. It didn't happen. Magyar's Tisa party has been deploying activists in an effort to disrupt Orban's campaign rallies, a tactic previously uncommon in Hungary. Very interesting. Playing dirty, I see. Recent trends are particularly troubling for Orban in several districts in 3 candidates. A third candidate not affiliated with either Orban or Magyar, has withdrawn in favor of the Tisa candidate. This wave of withdrawals over the past week has increased the opposition leader's chances of winning. Previous sentiment in Hungary is that Orban must pull off a last-minute surprise. Again, he didn't. Keep scrolling.
You know, so Magyar, right, Travis, and that's not what I'm talking. But what's interesting is that as somebody who I used to have like this massive stamp collection because my uncle would get me all these stamps. And that's how you would always know the Hungarian stamps, because it would say Magyar Posta. So I just knew that I didn't know what it was, but I knew that it was Hungarian.
All right, Magyar.
That word, that was the name of their postal, of their service.
Peter, not Hager. How significant was Magyar victory be for Israel? Officials familiar with the matter say a Hungary led by Magyar would not resemble Spain or Ireland, which has taken some of the most hardline positions against Israel in the EU. Magyar is a center-right candidate. The concern for Israel lies in his campaign promise to secure $15 billion in EU funding for Hungary. So what you're saying is that Magyar is thinking about his own people, Hungary first, if you will, but not Israel too. So that's a problem. Again, I love it when the Zio scum like to say, oh, we don't need the U.S. We don't need anybody. We could stand on our own 2 feet. Please prove it. We would be more than happy to just pull out the rug and you could stand on your own 2 feet, or, you know, for a few minutes.
Again, I don't think this is anything for us to be like celebrating, because this is just another right-wing person. No. They just happen to not be necessarily, aligned with the Zio state.
But here's where it gets interesting. To do so, he would need to align with Brussels. This would likely mean the end of Hungary's veto on decisions targeting Israel. As a result, Jerusalem could lose its last line of defense in the EU against sanctions, which require unanimity among all 27 member states. Hungary's vote has repeatedly blocked such initiatives, and that protection could now disappear.
Exactly.
You take your wins where you could get them.
Right. So, so what we're saying is, we're not saying that this is really a win for Hungary. This isn't a win for Hungary. This is just potentially one more thing that could push Ziohel out of, out of the world. So
For
it could help.
For Pissmaster Satanyahu Milikowski, an Orban defeat would mean losing one of his closest allies among world leaders. Aside from the Donald, during the campaign, Satanyahu sought to support Orban. Yeah, that's not working out too well, is it? Sending a video message to a party event in Budapest and dispatching his son, Yair. Could you imagine dragging that little Nepo baby bitch out of Miami and sending him over there to basically be the rally monkey? Yeah, that made sense.
I'm just amazed that, more people don't know who he is. I don't know. Go after him down there.
Within the EU, Orban has been widely unpopular, with many leaders hoping for his removal. European intelligence agencies were reportedly behind the leak of recordings of conversations between Hungary's foreign minister and Russian foreign minister Sergei Lavrov, portraying Hungary as advancing Russian interests within the EU. At the same time, there are claims that Russia has conducted an aggressive influence campaign to help Orban. A source familiar with the issue said it would be enough for Magyar to turn Hungary into Germany, a country that strongly supports Israel but does not veto anti-Israel decisions. There are matters only Hungary blocks, such as sanctions against settlers. So, very much a, not a diverse nation, basically. Turning them into Ukraine. Till now, the EU has often refrained from issuing collective condemnations of Israel due to Hungary's veto. Instead, EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas would issue statements in her own name. If Magyar wins, that dynamic is expected to end, with the EU likely issuing unified statements backed by all 27 members. Such statements could target settlement construction, settler violence, and unusual military operations, genocide in Gaza, such as the recent strike in Beirut. Oh, we got a good one to get to right after this. Israel would no longer be able to rely on Hungary to create divisions within the bloc. So, things are not looking too good for that VP now, is it, Jen?
Well, that was the whole point. He was sent over to Pakistan to fail. This is, him going to meet with Orban was just whatever. But them sending him with his babysitters, Kushner and Witkoff, to go over there to then have to call Milikowski on the phone like he's your daddy, and then leave because you were told to leave. So, yeah, he's the fall guy. He's the fall guy. The reason that they sent J.D. Vance over to be that is so that it could fail, and now it'll look like Trump can fix this mess.
One of the things that's been consistent, as we know throughout history, is that incumbency in the presidency is usually a shoo-in for re-election. That's generally how it's gone. As we have seen over the past few elections, that's not the case. When the ball starts bouncing back and forth, you know what that means? It means that economic collapse is real, and it's serious, and it's becoming a problem. That's why most people think that by some hook or crook, the Democrats are going to figure out a way to win in 2028. But what will end up happening, which should not surprise anybody, is that if America is still standing in 2032, the Republicans will win it back then. And the ball will keep bouncing until everything collapses because there is no trust.
No, because the Democrats are going to cease to exist nationally.
Maybe they will. You might be right.
The Republicans will be divided into two different factions, and the Democrats will cease to exist.
So, real brief, earthquake in Hungary, Orban defeated after 16 years in power. That is a long time. That is a long time to be in charge. Hungarian voters have ousted Prime Minister Viktor Orban after 16 years in power, delivering a stunning rebuke to one of the Western world's most entrenched populist leaders. I would not call him populist. So,
who calls him populist? He's like fascist.
Pretty much, yeah. So anyway, Colin, could you please pull up the other article, the one that shows what the big concern is? Now, the Times of Israel issued this statement just a couple hours ago. Hungary's Prime Minister-elect vows return to ICC, but stresses special relationship with Israel. After defeating Orban a close Netanyahu ally, Peter Magyar, says he'll reverse Budapest's withdrawal from International Criminal Court, vows continued zero tolerance for anti-Semitism. Well, isn't that lovely?
That's such a neo-lib. This guy, yeah, this guy's no prize.
Colin, please.
What are you doing? He did. He
Go to
scrolled
his
it. What do
picture,
you want?
please. Go to his picture, please.
Oh, you want to see the picture?
Isn't
Who
he?
does he think he is, this guy?
He's not a crook, Jen. He's definitely not a crook. Why was I getting confetti throwing down? I didn't win this election. I don't care how close my name is or that I have similar features. That's not me. I didn't win.
Why does it do that for you? It doesn't do it for me. That makes me so sad.
You're just not that popular, Jen.
Apparently, like, hey, why don't I get streamers? It makes me sad.
Here, let's do it together.
No, it's not. You can't make it rain and stop it.
I win. Hungarian Prime Minister-elect Peter Magyar pledged on Monday to return Budapest to being a member of the ICC after outgoing leader Viktor Orban quit the body last year in support of Netanyahu. Hey, listen, that's still a great development, whether you like it or not. Holding his first news conference following his election win a day earlier, Magyar said he would move to return Hungary to becoming an ICC member, but stopped short of expressing any opinion about the court's arrest warrant against Netanyahu on allegations of war crimes in Gaza. Well, he's not trying to get himself assassinated that quickly, guys. He's trying to protect himself. Orban's withdrawal from the ICC is a process we cannot stop. However, we are going to relaunch Hungary's ascension to the ICC. I think it is in the interest of the international community in Hungary for us to be there. It's not in the interest of the U.S. and Israel to be there, but hey, things change. Orban pulled Hungary out of the court last year after it issued an arrest warrant against Netanyahu for alleged war crimes, arguing that it had become a political court. He announced the move as he welcomed the Israeli prime minister for a visit to Budapest, defying Hungary's legal obligation to arrest him as a party to the ICC. Magyar's decision could mean Netanyahu would not be able to visit Budapest again due to fears of arrest. Well, damn it, if you can't go to Budapest, then where the hell can you go? However, a number of other countries have indicated that they would not arrest Netanyahu were he to visit, despite maintaining memberships in the ICC. Well, there you go. And that is the closing image, if you will, that we should remember. As much as we think after all this time that change can't happen, change is happening. This is not good for Netanyahu at all. Despite what Magyar says, there's no question that his country is demanding a rebuke of Israel. And they're going to get it. And despite what the Times of Israel is saying, and we know that they want to paint as sweet and gentle a picture as they possibly can, their country is not going to survive this. And nor should they. You rain the holy terror on the world that you have, at our expense, no less. Eventually, the arc of justice is going to come calling, and it's calling now. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't know that it's going to be that different. I'm kind of getting this vibe from that election, like the difference here between Democrats and Republicans, right? So maybe this new person will have more sternly worded language against the Zio state, but still isn't going to do anything about it. So I don't know. It remains to be seen.